Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and sub if you like what you've seen. Let's get right into it today. One take and uncut. This is a must-see video. So Ripple supporting 70 plus countries and growing by one new country every week. On-demand liquidity available, this darker blue, so we can see here in the US, we can see throughout Europe, we can see throughout Australia, and then we can see these later blues that I guess are, potentially just X-current and, using atomic swaps and just kind of working their way up to build that liquidity. I'm not necessarily sure, but what I want to focus on in today's video is going to be the MENA. So this is going to be the Middle East and Northern Africa portion in particular, and then of course reviewing some news over the Mexican corridors. But guys, this is more bullish than I can even emphasize. And yes, I am really hoping it begins to reflect in price sooner than later. All right. So right here, this is actually a fractal. This is by Lud XRP. So again, huge contributor to the XRP community, guys. I always enjoy seeing his posts. And again, even he says nothing's guaranteed, but I do want to show you this. This is a fractal, I believe, from the 2017 bull run. And if we're just overlaying it, it has been following suit relatively to these points. And this is just a zoom in on the existing fractal on his Twitter. So it shows us, hopefully, in the coming week, doing a little bounce over that 30-cent range. And then hopefully getting over, 31, 33. I know there's typical resistance at 34 from a TA perspective. And then shortly after, another bounce to finally over 40 cents. Now, is this impossible? Absolutely not, guys. We've been in this down, bear trend for, 2 years. It's simply a matter of time. I just wish I could tell you exactly when it could happen. History doesn't always repeat, but it often does rhyme. So I'm keeping an eye on this and entertaining it. I'm not saying to just sell something and buy something or swing trade crypto into XRP to take that chance. I don't want to gamble. All I advocate is holding long term. All right, but I did want to show you that. All right, right here. So we got Bank XRP, Ripple's Navin Gupta, again, of the Middle East and North Africa regions that he focuses on. And he's talking in this video. I'm going to play it. And I think there's a little typo here with losing and loosing. But can you imagine 7% of our income just because we are... Can you imagine losing 7% of our income just because we are transferring money from one place to another? To my mind, it's unacceptable. So let's watch this clip here of Navin Gupta.
With Ripple, with our software, and it's already live between US dollar to Mexico corridor, it'll move between AED to XRP and XRP to Kenyan shilling, and with which the loss will be quite minimal, and with which we can certainly say that the cost of remittance will go down, because it's far more efficient way of transferring money, because there is no nostro accounts that are required. As you know, there is about $5 to $10 trillion of capital that banks keep with their...
So now they're saying it's 5 to 10 trillion. Beforehand, they used to say 9.6, and originally, back in the day, they said 23 trillion, and the highest figure I've heard is $27 trillion. They're lowering this, this pre-funded account, and I'm wondering why exactly.
Their counterparty banks in the destination country to make these transfers possible. So that's the big liquidity cost that we eliminate. The second thing that we eliminate is the cost of errors.
All right, and that's a big liquidity cost. And keep in mind, I know Digital Asset Investor addressed this as well, but the people from Ripple said they want XRP to be as liquid as the Swiss franc, literally an everyday currency used. If you guys do not understand the importance of liquidity, look how liquid gold is. Look how liquid some of the most valuable assets in the world are. They are valuable and have high liquidity. You're not going to just have high liquidity and low value with this type of market. XRP is not a stable coin, and we know what that means through long-term adoption.
The infrastructure or the plumbing for the international payments was built 50, 60 years ago. It still runs on, you can call it telex technology, right? Whereas the new infrastructure for the internet world, it requires an API-based software system which Ripple pioneers. And a combination of both these things put together should bring the cost of remittances down, which has stubbornly been at a 7% range. Can you imagine all of us earning in the room?
Cost of remittance, guys, down from a 7% range. Keep in mind, the actual error rate on Ripple's network is 0%. Listen to this.
And most of us could be foreigners to UAE, lose 7% of our income just because we are transferring money from one place to another. I mean, to my mind, it's unacceptable.
Especially nowadays, guys, that whole concept of losing money and the fees are ridiculous, okay? You can email each other, you can send pictures via Messenger or WhatsApp to your friends in other countries. It's a complete joke to me. All right, now check this out. This is really interesting. So King Solomon, guys, this is the latest news. National Bank of Egypt signs a cooperation agreement with the company Ripple. Now keep this in mind. He has the link down below just so you guys don't call BS, because I know you're cynical. So as we scroll down here, we have let's see here. He had the link posted. Yeah, so here's the link, and keep in mind, it is actually in another language, and then he had to translate it, okay? And then it's from this news outlet in Egypt, and he did have to translate it, so take that as you will. But again, the link is right here, so if you follow King Solomon, go ahead and check it out. I'm not going to waste my time doing that right away, because obviously I cannot read. I'm imagining some form of Arabic. So, okay, so right here, National Bank of Egypt signs a cooperation agreement with Ripple. As we can see here, signed a cooperation agreement with a Ripple company through which it will provide a new communication channel to receive remittances from Egyptians abroad, making the National Bank the first bank in Egypt to use blockchain technologies. Boom. All right, we can continue here. You can see 300 banks and FIs, RippleNet network, of course. Yes, spread in all countries. Expected the number of subscribers to that network to grow exponentially. Yes, that snowball effect, just like Facebook, just like the whole, network effect. When you have a cell phone, it's not that valuable. But when, multiple people and friends and family have a cell phone, then you can all communicate. It becomes more valuable. Okay, it's that network effect. All right, so as we can scroll down here, of course, we can see here implementation in any of its stages. All adjustments were made. Just talking about overall the agreement specifically for remittancy, liquidity management, mechanisms, you name it. You can see Navin Gupta, of course, who we just were showing. Again, this is on February 11th, so just posted. All right. And then lastly, emphasize that this system is actually applied by many of the bank's current correspondents, in addition to the existence of future plans to implement it with many other correspondents in the Arab Gulf states, and allows the possibility of linking with a number of correspondents in other countries such as the United Kingdom and the United States of America and Canada in an effort to provide an effective service and efficiency. All right, keep in mind this is translated, so it's not perfect. But guys, this is very bullish news. We are finally getting more and more involved in the Middle East as well. Should be no surprise, of course, if you even look at, all the past sanctions in the Middle East as well, and, threats and manipulation and getting them off the SWIFT network. And guys, there should be no surprise. The US dollar reserve currency will not last forever. I'm not saying that's going to be XRP or even, a basket of 13 digital currencies and an SDR, and hopefully XRP is included with some others. No, I'm not even going to speculate that far. What I'm saying is we are moving towards a tokenized world, and they need a bridge asset. And obviously the one with the most powerful network and the highest amount of liquidity and efficiency, security, and TPS scalability is going to be the chosen one. That is why I'm so bullish on XRP. If you look at where it came from in 2004 with OpenCoin, even before Bitcoin, you guys would understand my sentiment. Please do your own research. There's so much noise out there. You have to learn to see through that. Lastly, I'm going to finish off with this just because I haven't covered it yet. But again, guys, we already are aware of this. This just happened recently, though. Ripple just announced a new ODL liquidity partner. So this is Intermex Wire, guys. So again, helping Mexico specifically. Again, they are just money transfer business, the leader you can trust. And then again, this partnership with Mexico, of course, we're ramping up the liquidity. I know you guys saw in yesterday's video talking about how we already have about 43% of the entire remittance market in Mexico, and we're only ramping up to 20%. It's, a done deal. Just wait until we really start moving things. There's things going on behind the scene though, and I'm really wondering what, because I think the price will start moving quickly when it does. And yes, I've been saying that for a while, because I do have very high hopes. All right, so Ripple's partnership with Intermex Wire will enable them to use ODL through RippleNet and utilize XRP. They're a leading remittance or money remittance US company to 17 countries in Latin America and the Caribbean, along with Mexico, Guatemala, and 4 countries in Africa. All right, so we can see here. We see ODL leverages the digital asset XRP. We already knew that. Look forward to implementing new solutions on RippleNet and on-demand liquidity to help drive growth and deliver greater efficiency. This isn't just some dude saying buy Bitcoin, XRP's a scam. These are actual financial institutions, MSBs, money service businesses utilizing the digital asset that is an open-sourced platform that you are allowed for the first time in history to own before they ramp up. We're waiting for regs, and I can guarantee one thing. When the price is up and regulations are in place, it will be too late for for everyday people to do. All right. I am personally a contrarian investor going against the grain. And yes, I do see a good future for XRP as well as many other cryptos. But for me, the most guaranteed and obvious investment to be in your portfolio, whether you want it to be a huge portion or not, is XRP. All right, guys, with that, I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.